Welcome to Talking Galactic, where Joyce and Lane Keller deliver real-time, real-world tools to help us out of the manipulated programming and connect to our divine purpose. They do this with the help of master teachers who are actively working to help humanity. Let the demystification of abstract concepts and astral wisdom heal you of disillusionment, inaction, limiting mindsets, and release you from the matrix stronghold.
Logical reason, knowing all the pitfalls of Bitcoin. Now, when I say Bitcoin, cryptos in general, although he is mostly a fan of Ethereum, Ether. So,
I'm listening.
So most people are riding out the cryptos right now. They're in the tank, as everyone knows. They bottom out. Now I know that the whole blockchain was set up by the Rothschilds, or at least they had their hand in it, and that there's back doors to most of it.
That's true.
But he was saying they don't have back doors to everything.
That's right.
And that as we move forward, it is going to be the only way of survival.
That's right.
And I agree with that, if it survives. And that was the part that I was concerned about, is will they make it? And he just said yes. Or they destroy the whole blockchain before. And he said that's impossible, they can't do that.
He's probably 89%. It's impossible. When you can't do that now. You can't decide now.
So gold and silver, as you know, it's artificially suppressed, but
I'm listening.
I don't know. The ruble is taking off.
I heard about that. Okay, go ahead, I'm listening.
The US dollar is going to be pretty close to worthless.
That's true.
Real estate market, they are doing everything they can to push people into foreclosures. So there's going to be a rash of those.
Uh-huh.
So that's why renting is so important. Having homes for people to rent is so important. Because the problem is there's going to be underwater
Things that create tidal waves activity. I don't know what that's called, but they're showing me like an underground water, not an explosion, but like that causes water to come up from New York City and do a lot of destruction to New York City and areas like that where it's not expected. Okay?
Okay.
That's why no one can be in cities.
But cities on the coast or cities in general? Like Atlanta, for instance, is
It may start with New York City. And that's like, I don't know. There's like a lot of I don't knows here. So I wouldn't take anything too seriously. But I do know New York's not safe. And you know that. We agree?
I wouldn't have anything to do with New York right now, and I'm a New Yorker. But unsafe for so many reasons, including the crime, the lack of police. Now there's immigration waves. So my question is, do men exist on this planet right now who are
Worthy.
equal to women? Because the women have evolved so quickly, so far.
The problem is that men obviously have taken too long. They've been so involved in gathering
Right.
to this minute that they're not really evolving properly. So that's why I asked that before, because he was fine mentally and the rest was a disaster. Sexually, he was okay, but
He was a lover of women. He knew.
he knew about women.
He knew about women.
Cassanova.
I don't doubt it. That's probably why he came in, because we were just talking about
That's why I started speaking about him, because I started feeling the Cassanova energy coming around here.
But he was so uninvolved
At that time, but a lot has happened since then. Okay, I don't know if you know this. This week is extremely significant because there's a lineup. I think July 30th, I'm not sure. It's starting the 26th of July and running to August 1st. A huge lineup of planets that haven't happened for thousands of years.
There are a lot of those this year.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a time for, the most important thing is that this is a time for manifestation. That was never possible before to this degree. If you make it clear about what you're looking for, the promise is given that you absolutely will receive it. If you're very clear about it, it was never really possible to this degree. Oh, we're in Palm Bay? I never heard of it before, did you? Palm Bay.
Yeah, I think it's right. But, okay, so now,
So what?
This lineup of planets?
Yeah, they also said when I finished with Florida. Did we ever discuss about Alabama?
No.
Okay, there's a crystal, an underground crystal, I don't have the word, an underground crystal vortex.
Do you know where in Alabama?
It's most of Alabama.
I think I have to get some caffeine. Most of Alabama. Okay. Why then, is that why then we have so much, I don't know, say karma or mingling with Alabama, so much Alabama?
Because of the Atlantean crystalline vortex, it's because of that. I put the sentence in reverse. It's because of that. That you're drawn, the energy, the Atlantean and the Mu energy draws you there. The energy is drawn one way or another.
Okay. So what's going on with this crystal vortex? How does that figure into what's going on right now?
As deeply underground, but as it manifests, there's going to be greater awareness on the earth. And
okay, so it's going to manifest on the earth?
Yes, with greater crystalline energy rather than carbon.
Who's speaking right now?
It feels very much like, it's not Mataji, but she's saying, let's not identify it.
So back to the crystalline vortex in Alabama. How does that configure? Is that going to become more visible to us or more work?
Yes.
It's going to work with us more?
It's instrumental in the energy right now, third dimension is carbon, you know that.
Carbon-based, yes.
Carbon-based. Okay, that has to be changed. And Alabama is the seat of where it's happening. I don't know if it's just our country or more, but it's very important.
So it's instrumental in raising our crystalline structures?
Exactly.
Our structures into crystalline?
Totally.
Alright, awesome. Maybe that's why we're down in this area.
Yes.
Alright, what else? Can we do anything to move that along, or is it happening?
The most important thing you can do is a raising of consciousness. See, this vaccine thing was excellent. It was really excellent because so many people realized the sham and the dishonesty of people they actually trusted. They trusted the government. They trusted their doctors. And it was so terrible.
I know. How many people do you think, like what percentage were raised?
Even this idiot in this truck is starting to say, maybe it was wrong.
So what would you say, 50% of people whose awareness was shaken open, or more?
See, it's changing minute to minute, but it's... See, this Biden thing was very good.
Which one?
The whole Biden administration and his vice president, Kamala, and the whole thing, it was so horrible. It was the worst thing that ever happened to our country that even idiots are starting to say, we made a mistake. They don't want Trump either. Like this mover yesterday, he doesn't want Trump, but he knows that the whole thing is wrong. They don't know what to do. We're in a state of confusion.
What did the spirit guides say? Did they want Trump?
Yes, but the people are not really ready. It would cause tremendous anger in the country because so many people hate him so very much.
Really, no, but just a logical reason whatsoever.
Say that again.
They hate him, but for no logical reason whatsoever.
Well, see, I would ask you a question. Did he hurt people?
Yeah,
That's what he did wrong.
but he did far less wrong than many others.
Okay, but he hurt people.
And he raised awareness. He hurt people by easing the vaccine transition.
So the question is the hatred of Trump. That's the issue. That's what's holding back the country.
It's completely illogical. It's manufactured hate.
Yesterday, this mover actually stopped what he was doing to express his hatred of Trump. I said, can you try to clarify that a bit? He said, if you don't know, I can't tell you.
And that's their answer to everything. They have no idea. They're just indoctrinated to believe Trump is bad. I'm not saying he's good, but it's all a program.
Now, what you have to do is work harder at manifesting. Now that the dimensions are shifting, say a prayer, say thank you. Say
Thank you. So what is going on with the men right now? Are they raising in vibration? Is there hope? Because too many women who are of the goddess vibration, high level, have no partners.
True. He said they're a pathetic lot.
We're dealing with something so not right. They're only able to rise up so far. What's going on? Their base energies are anchored to the planet.
Yes, exactly.
More densities.
Precisely.
They can't give up the ideas of what? Because even the unprogrammed ones are still hanging on to the density.
They're stuck in a place of dense materialism.
Not necessarily dense materialism, but it's a density of vibration.
Don't forget what these teachers tell me, or wherever it's coming from, it has to come through my brain. And there might be a little altering, a little mistake here and there.
Okay, so the density is of
the third vibration is what you're dealing with. It's the people who are refusing to grow, who are just stuck in.
They can't even stuck. They chose to go here. It's a very closed system, a belief system. That's what they wanted. That's their comfort zone. That's where their friends are. That's where they want to be. It's not a lot of aspiration in general to move past these closed systems. They're opting, and I'm talking in general, they're opting for something that's familiar, that's comfortable, that's not scary. They don't have to have their belief system shaken up. They can just reside in relative peace and live a normal life. And then there's the whole other group like us who are constantly seeking truth and wisdom and growth, personal growth, and would never opt for being stuck in a place, any place. Even where we are now, we're not going to be stuck in it because we're moving through it. So what makes one different than the other? And then you've got the men, the whole men group, they're stuck in the man thing. And I don't even know, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way because we love and honor the masculine divinity. That is not it at all. It is stuck in some kind of maybe a warrior mode or hunter-gatherer mode. I don't even know if it's definable. It's just a density. There's nothing wrong with being a hunter-gatherer or a warrior or a protector.
Holding back the vibrations of the planet.
How do I address this? A lot of men are, beer swilling. All they know is sports, going to sports games.
Eventually, that's going to be completely eliminated in a very short time.
It's a program, and it holds people captive.
Not only is it a distraction, but it's holding down the vibration. These huge
stadiums.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the stadiums from the drone point of view? That's the Illuminati Eye.
Really?
They form the Illuminati Eye.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, several of them, like the big ones. But also, it's a vibration trapper, right?
Exactly.
So what does a stadium do? It resonates. What are they saying? What is a stadium?
It's a place of confined, controlled. I don't have the words.
Magnified.
Exactly. Exactly. It's the exact opposite of what should be happening.
It's a 3D vibration.
It's a trap.
Spreader.
It's a
trap.
Thank you.
3D vibration trap generator.
Yes.
It's a generator. Okay, so yeah, so what do we do about the men?
I don't know if this is true or if it's going to happen, but the planetary shift is supposed to occur, and I don't know what that entails, because no one's supposed to know about that. But at that time, I don't know if it's going to be sudden or slow or what, or I think that the primary problem, as I see it, is it's not the Illuminati, it's the darkness on the planet. I don't have an answer. The darkness on the planet is obviously holding back the vibration of elevation.
So the men on the planet need the shift to occur, which we are not being told when it is because we're not supposed to know.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it also hasn't been decided. It's not just so much we're not supposed to know as much as it hasn't been decided because of the vibration on the planet and exactly what should be done. I think the Godhead, the powers that be, are very much in flux. See that Atlantis went through the same thing.
What through?
Destruction. What?
Yeah.
They're trying not to destroy us, which is exactly the situation.
So what's he up to now, Cassanova?
He's a teacher. He goes.
Is he teaching?
He's a master guide.
And he's teaching. Is it romantic love or is it love in general?
It's called loving love.
Loving love. I love it. Does he have any want to share about loving love?
You will never guess in a million years who he's with.
If you put it like that, how do I know who he's with? Give me a hint.
I think she's still in a physical body, but her oversoul is with him. I forgot her name. We were just discussing her. The greatest sex organ is the brain. Who is that?
You said Raquel.
So she's still here, but he says that energy that you have to deal with. It's that kind of energy combined with the physicality and the emotionality of sex.
What's the basis? What's it all about?
It can be very much based on a deep soul connection with the right person, where you were abruptly torn apart.
Right.
Time. It's understanding the psyche of the human mind. You know why Jung and Freud had a real parting of the ways?
No.
Jung, who was a student, said, basically, Freud, you're a jackass.
I agree.
He said,
Freud was set up. He was a fraud.
Get
Just
it?
one letter difference. It's always like that. Fauci, Faustus.
It's the same thing. So it's Jung who came along and said, look, we have to start understanding what all of this is about. And people said, oh, please get out of it. We don't really care. Jung was addressing human psychology, which at that time, that's what was going on. And to this day, it still continues.
Freud, it's all been a design, evolution by design.
Exactly.
And Freud was part of that. The cigar is just, again, the belittling of women. The cigar is penis envy, whatever. You want a penis? No, we don't. We like our vaginas, thank you very much. Except for some. And what was that? Freud, the Oedipal complex, didn't that come from him? All sorts of stuff. He was basically a one-stop fraud system. And he messed up a lot of people.
He really did.
And he, again, made women inferior, and it seemed like things were all in their head. I would so homeschool my kids if this was going on now. I just hope she doesn't see it. She doesn't see how bad it is. She says, that won't happen in Georgia. Yes, it will. It does. It is.
I'm sure.
It's happening everywhere. Anyway.
But Georgia is so wonderfully, I don't want to say not progressive.
It's conservative.
It's very conservative. So you almost don't have to worry.
They're progressive. The thing is, the liberal, I don't like all that separatism, like this person, conservative versus progressive liberals, but that's what we're talking about here. They have purloined the phrase progressive and also liberal. But I'm liberal and I am progressive, but I would never call myself a progressive liberal because that immediately puts you in the camp of the brainwashed.
May I ask you a question?
What?
Totally apart from what you're saying, we're going past the Space Center. Okay. Is it possible that it's all a fraud?
Yeah, it is a fraud.
Okay, I know. Tell me about that. My question is, what about the boats that were out? There must have been water near here where boats could actually see the launch. And if there was one, is it possible?
I'm not a student of the fake space program, but I can tell you that it's easy enough for them to fake any of this. And that Stanley Kubrick came clean before his death, and those who really studied his work have put the pieces together because he laid tons of clues in his movies.
I realize that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, it was completely fake.
Okay, but I don't. My only question is, I don't understand how they could fake it when there were boats out in the harbor.
Because they shoot something in the air. Can they actually see it land on the moon? No.
No, but like they're always shooting things off.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to see it go to the moon, but they actually have to have things.
Yeah, they must, because they must shoot something up for people to see.
I heard that it was done with screens.
We were at that water park, I forget, near Disney, the day, in the Challenger. Might have been the Challenger. We watched in the parking lot the space shuttle go up.
Okay.
So what? They shot something in the air. And remember, the way they have it is there's a rocket, a long rocket with a space shuttle on the bottom, and something drops off. Anyway, we've been on the moon. I don't even know if the moon's real. We've been on Mars for I don't even know how long. We've probably colonized multiple planets and no one's saying anything. The whole thing is a charade.
Do you think the moon is a satellite?
Yeah.
Do you think there are many different factions? We'll call them factions because I don't know what they are on the moon. Already there?
I would think so. I don't know if there's different factions. It depends who controls the satellite, who put it up there in the first place.
And that we were told not to go back until a certain year.
It sounds like you're getting it. So what do you think?
We're not allowed back on the moon until a long time from now. That
Who said this?
I don't know. Sometimes
Are you getting that info now? Or is this previous?
I'm getting it as we're going past the space now.
Oh, okay. Does that mean Earth isn't allowed back, or who isn't allowed back?
The Earth space people are not allowed back for a period of time because it's considered to be not an invasion, but it's like where you don't belong, you don't go there, and it's really not for us.
So who's there?
We have, and I said factions before, that's a variety of high entities and also dark entities that have taken it over. We don't care. The moon is a joke anyway.
How long has this been going on?
Since the beginning of the inception of the moon. Now, when did the moon actually start? Okay, it was put there as like a fueling station, a loading station, a learning. It's there for many reasons that the Earth is not ready to grasp into.
Okay.
See, a lot of the words don't come together as they come as concepts. How do they do that? How do they make the Earth shake? When they shoot off a shuttle, you can feel it for many miles.
Well, maybe they are shooting something off. Doesn't mean that they're going to the moon. They have stuff going off that we don't feel shaking. So the shaking is just probably a ruse to make us think something's happening.
I'm trying to figure out how they do that. I found that very intriguing.
All right, but why, whoever you're speaking to about the moon right now, why did we have to pretend that we were doing all this space exploration? What was the point of that?
Oh, it's because of the United States being acknowledged as a leader of technology.
Okay, so what is happening on the moon? What are they doing?
It's an all-purpose. It was set up as a satellite, as an all-purpose, whatever entities needed. I said before, as a fuel station, a learning station. They have laboratories. They have many, like billions. It just happens that the moon is important to us because we can see it so significantly, but it's not unusual.
What's going on Mars?
Mars is a very interesting place.
What's happening? I only know certain reports, which may be propaganda.
A lot of it is probably obviously propaganda, but also many warnings to the United States because we're not progressive enough to understand what's really real. If you had a question and a desire to know about Mars, it's not just Mars, there are like zillions. Okay, ask about Mars. Let's see if we can get an answer.
Okay, so who's there and what are they doing?
So many people have died. A lot of people have died in the process of, mostly it's a laboratory. And the United States, again, was warned, I can't say by Canadians or anything like that, but it's like that. It's like higher energies, not to bring in lower technology. Like our technology is not advanced enough to have the experience of really being on Mars. That's why so many people have died, because they don't tell us, but we're not ready.
Okay, so what about the stories that were Captain Randy Kramer brought back, and I believe they reversed his age by 30 years?
It's that kind of technology. There are always breakthroughs.
I don't think this was a good thing. I think they had him on Mars. If I remember from his interviews, it was mostly, there's a lot of killing and fighting.
Yes, a lot of people died.
Limbs removed, regenerated, very advanced tech, and then when he was finally done with his tours, or maybe he's back there again now, I'm not sure, they reversed his age 30 years. So he could go back to being age whatever he was before he left.
I'm saying it's not technology like that, so but we're not quite ready for that. Can you imagine if they had that now? It's just not time. There has to be the whole total shift of the planet.
But are the stories that he and other super soldiers tell true?
Yes.
Okay.
Not all of them, they're basically true. And you know, as I do, that as we get into the fifth and sixth dimension, that you have limb regeneration, you have all that you just mentioned, all that'll be like baby cakes. It's like,
we even have that now. There's some substance which I actually have that is proven to regenerate.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the people who died from the flu, the virus, whatever it is? What do you think about them? Do you think that was a good or a bad thing?
It's very hard for families who are going through grief to
forget all that. Go to the process.
Of course it's a good thing. It's an evolution. It's a cleansing off of density as well as shaking people awake.
Good. Very good.
Until it happens to you, and then it's
a bad thing.
Tragic.
It lasts for a few weeks. Okay. So
it's very tough for parents of grown kids who have opted for the vaccines and their children have, and their youngsters. It's terrible to have to stand by and witness this. It's very distressing to see family members who we love and who are on their own journeys make these choices. To use fluoride toothpaste, and despite all the evidence as to the truth about fluoride, and worse. That's for COVID. It's easy to say, oh, it's about advancing the planet, but it's very difficult if it happens to somebody you love. Why does that person have to have that experience? Why do the people who are here and who are knowledgeable have to stand by and witness this? Sometimes quite painfully.
do you think we have a plan before we're born?
I think so, yes.
Do you think that those experiences would be accidental?
No, but it's awfully tough. How about the moms or dads whose entire families and offsprings have turned against them for refusing to get vaccinated?
It's all lessons. I would have to say he opted for it.
You've been listening to Talking Galactic with Joyce Keller and Lane Keller. To connect with Joyce and Lane, or to check out our other shows, head to lifesource.global. And don't forget, hit the like, subscribe and share buttons. This show has been brought to you by Source Light Productions.